26th of November 1834, the Lion set sail from New Orleans heading for Liverpool with a crew of 15 captained by Alan Bursley from Barnstable, Massachusetts. She was carrying a cargo of hides and cotton bales which were unloaded at Liverpool. The hold was refilled with 180 tons of general goods before the Lion left for her return journey on the 29th of January. The seas were turbulent and there was a thick car all the way up the Irish Sea. So by the evening of the 31st of January, the Lion was well off course with zero visibility. Captain Bursley thought he was sailing up the Irish coast, but in fact he was much closer to the coast of Galloway. Seeing a light he thought was the lighthouse at the entrance to Belfast Lough, he picked a course towards it that avoided the Copeland Isles. But the light was actually from the lighthouse here at Portpatrick, and his carefully plotted course led the ship directly to the bottom of the steep cliffs just to the south of the town, quite close to Dunsky Castle. William Kerr of Craigoch Park Farm was woken up by the barking of his dogs. At first he couldn't see anything, but a noise above the howling wind caught his attention. It was coming from the sea. He woke up the rest of the farm, and lamps were gathered and lit. They made for the cliffs, and as they approached, they realised the sounds were in fact shouts of distress coming from over the cliff edge. Mr. Kerr got down on his hands and knees to peer over it. There he saw the Lion on her beam ends, lifting and smashing back onto the cliffs with every crashing wave. But he couldn't see the survivors who were shouting, so they had to wait until daybreak to attempt a rescue. When morning came, they found only 4 survivors from the wreck, huddled in a cleft in the rocks. Once they had been hauled up from the cliffs and taken back to the house to warm through, they explained what had happened. Nicholas Killen-Hasnell, the first mate, described how he had seen the captain be thrown overboard into the seas as the Lion hit the cliffs. The first mate and the other 3 men had been on watch that night, and somehow they managed to leap from the stricken ship into the cliffs where they had been found. The body of the captain and 6 other crewmen were found that day, and they were buried in the old cemetery in the middle of Portpatrick. The ship was smashed entirely by the sea, but bits of salvage from what was left were sold for £45 in Portpatrick. The cargo itself was held until it was claimed by the owners of the Lion.